Everyone knows Keanu Reeves as a humble and generous man who has touched countless lives through his movies and acts of compassion. Many are also aware that he has endured a life filled with challenges, but few realize the depth of his personal heartbreak. Among the lesser-known tragedies is the devastating loss of his daughter, a loss so profound that it has shaped much of who he is today. Join us as we explore a tragic part of the life of Keanu Reeves and delve into the recent interview where he opened up about the tragic death of his daughter. Keanu Reeves, Hollywood's humble hero, is widely regarded as one of the kindest and most grounded celebrities in the industry. If I were to ask you who is the best person in Hollywood, most of you would probably think of Keanu Reeves, not just for his incredible performances in iconic roles like John Wick or Neo in The Matrix, but for the way he lives his life with humility, kindness, and a quiet generosity that seems almost mythical. What's remarkable is that behind his calm demeanor and down-to-earth nature lies a man who has faced immense personal tragedy and still chooses to move through the world with grace and compassion. Keanu Reeves is often celebrated for his humility and generosity, qualities that are rare in a celebrity of his stature. One of the many reasons he's adored is his willingness to share his success with others. Take, for instance, the time he gave up a significant portion of his earnings from the Matrix sequels so the special effects and costume teams could be properly compensated. He saw them as essential to the film's success and wanted to ensure they received the recognition and financial reward they deserved. This wasn't a one-off gesture. In The Devil's Advocate, he took a pay cut so that Al Pacino could join the cast, and for the replacements, he did the same to bring in Gene Hackman. What kind of person does that in an industry often dominated by ego and self-interest? Keanu Reeves does. Keanu's kindness doesn't stop with his colleagues. Fans frequently share stories of his quiet acts of generosity. One Twitter user recalled meeting Keanu as a teenager while working at a movie theater. They tried to get his autograph, but he politely declined. Minutes later, Keanu returned with a signed receipt, having purchased an ice cream just so he could autograph the back of the receipt for the young fan. In a world where social media thrives on big gestures and PR stunts, Keanu's acts of kindness often come without any cameras around. These stories only surface because of the fans he touches along the way. Despite his fame, Keanu leads a life that seems almost ordinary. There's a now famous video of him riding a crowded New York subway and offering his seat to a woman with a large bag. The video, taken by a fellow passenger, went viral and became a testament to his humility. It's not every day you see a Hollywood superstar commuting on public transport, let alone behaving with such kindness. Keanu's respect extends beyond his actions to his body language. Fans noticed in photos that he often hovers his hands when posing with women, ensuring he doesn't touch them. This simple gesture, dubbed Hover Hands, earned him the nickname Respectful King online and highlighted his thoughtfulness in respecting personal boundaries. During his sister Kim's battle with leukemia, Keanu became her primary caretaker. He later established a private foundation to support children's hospitals and cancer research, but he doesn't attach his name to it. "I just let the foundation do what it does," he once said in an interview. Keanu's lack of pretension is refreshing in an industry that often celebrates excess. Whether he's patiently waiting in the rain to get into his own party or taking a road trip with fellow passengers after their flight made an emergency landing, he seems entirely unaffected by his fame. On that impromptu road trip, he even entertained passengers by reading facts about California from his phone and playing country music. It's no wonder people dream of being stuck on a bus with him. So, why do we all love Keanu? Keanu Reeves isn't just a great actor, he's a great human being. His humility, kindness, and resilience make him stand out in an industry often filled with self-importance. He's someone who has suffered immense loss but chooses to spread love and light in everything he does. Whether it's giving away millions to support his colleagues, jumping out of his car to make a fan's day, or simply being considerate in his interactions, Keanu shows us that kindness truly matters. That Keanu radiates his early life was anything but easy. Born on September 2, 1964, in Beirut, Lebanon, Keanu Charles Reeves entered a world of instability. His father, Samuel Neen Reeves Jr., abandoned the family when Keanu was just 3 years old, leaving his mother, Patricia Taylor, to raise him and his younger sister Kim on her own. This absence left an indelible mark on Keanu, contributing to his introspective and reserved nature. Patricia, a costume designer and performer, sought stability for her children but struggled to provide it. The family moved frequently, living in places as far-flung as Sydney, New York, and Toronto. These constant relocations, coupled with Patricia's multiple marriages, meant that Keanu and his sister rarely experienced a settled home life. His childhood was marked by impermanence, and the absence of a stable paternal figure only deepened the sense of disconnection. Education was another significant challenge for Keanu. Diagnosed with dyslexia, he found school to be a constant battle. The traditional classroom environment didn't suit him, and he often clashed with authority figures. As a result, he attended multiple schools, including the prestigious Etobicoke School of the Arts, where he was eventually expelled for being, as he described, a little too rambunctious. By the time he was 17, he had dropped out of high school altogether, recognizing that academia was not his path. Yet, amidst this turbulence, Keanu found refuge in his family, particularly his sister Kim. Their bond deepened over the years, especially when Kim was diagnosed with leukemia. As we already mentioned, Keanu became her rock, dedicating himself to her care and recovery. This experience not only underscored the importance of family in his life but also helped shape his empathetic nature. The loss of a best friend marked another chapter in Keanu's life. Even after that, life was not easy for him. Already familiar with the pain of loss, Keanu faced a devastating tragedy in October 1993 that would leave an indelible mark on his life. At just 23 years old, Keanu lost his closest friend and collaborator, River Phoenix, to a tragic drug overdose outside the Viper Room, a Hollywood nightclub partly owned by Johnny Depp. Keanu and River first met on the set of I Love You to Death in 1990. Though they shared a few scenes in the film, a genuine connection formed between them. Both introspective and unpretentious, they found solace in each other amid the chaos of Hollywood. Their friendship deepened when they worked together on Gus Van Sant's My Own Private Idaho in 1991. The film, a daring exploration of love and identity, became a cornerstone for both actors' careers and highlighted the trust and synergy between them. Keanu, recognizing River's immense talent, reportedly pushed for him to take the lead role. He even turned down more lucrative offers to ensure the film became a reality. Their shared passion for meaningful projects and rejection of Hollywood's superficiality bonded them further. River once described Keanu as being like his older brother but shorter. Keanu often expressed deep admiration and love for River, describing him as his best friend. He acknowledged that close friendships were rare in his life, making his bond with River all the more special. On October 30, 1993, the world lost River Phoenix at just 23 years old. River arrived at the Viper Room with his girlfriend, Samantha Mathis, and his siblings, Joaquin and Rain. He was slated to perform with the band P, which included his close friends Flea from the Red Hot Chili Peppers and John Frusciante. But the evening turned catastrophic after River ingested a lethal combination of drugs known as a speedball, a mix of cocaine and morphine. Shortly after expressing discomfort to a friend, River collapsed outside the club. Joaquin Phoenix made the heartbreaking 911 call while Rain attempted to resuscitate him. Despite their efforts and those of paramedics, River was pronounced dead at Cedars-Sinai Medical Center. The world mourned the loss of a young star, and Keanu was left grappling with unimaginable grief. Keanu was in the middle of filming Speed when the news of River's death reached him. Sandra Bullock, his co-star, later reflected on Keanu's life, noting that he had faced many challenges but rarely showed it, often keeping his pain hidden from others. Indeed, Keanu's response to River's death was deeply personal. In interviews, Keanu spoke about his grief, describing it as profoundly sad and admitting how deeply he missed River. His words carried the weight of a loss that would never fully heal. Losing River was a turning point for Keanu, but heartbreak seemed to follow him like a shadow. It was only the first in a series of devastating events that would shape his life. Keanu Reeves and Jennifer Sim fast forward to the late 1990s, a time when Keanu Reeves was riding high on the success of Speed and preparing to revolutionize Hollywood with The Matrix. It was during this period that he met Jennifer Sim, a vibrant young woman with a passion for filmmaking and music. Their relationship was one of deep connection and joy, but would soon be marked by tragedy that neither could have foreseen. Jennifer Sim was born in Pico Rivera, California, and grew up in Laguna Beach. She moved to Los Angeles as a teenager with her mother Maria S. John, where she developed a fascination with the art of filmmaking, especially the work of director David Lynch. At just 16, Jennifer began working as an intern at David's production company, Asymmetrical Productions. Her dedication and creative spirit quickly earned her a full-time position, and she played an influential role in David's projects, particularly in shaping the music for his film Lost Highway. Though primarily working behind the scenes, Jennifer occasionally dabbled in acting. She appeared in Lost Highway in a small role and collaborated with filmmaker Scott Coffey on a series of short films, one of which was featured at the Sundance Film Festival. Jennifer also worked as a personal assistant to high-profile musicians, including Dave Navarro of Jane's Addiction and the Red Hot Chili Peppers. She was ambitious, talented, and deeply involved in the creative worlds of film and music. Jennifer and Keanu's paths crossed in 1998, reportedly at a party thrown by Keanu's rock band Dogstar. Others, including Jennifer's mother, claimed the two had known each other for years before officially connecting. Regardless of how they met, their chemistry was undeniable. Keanu, known for his introspection and humility, found a kindred spirit in Jennifer. Her warmth and creative energy complemented his reserved nature, and their relationship blossomed. By 1999, their love story took an exciting turn. Jennifer was pregnant with their first child. The couple was overjoyed and eagerly anticipating the arrival of their daughter, whom they planned to name Ava Archer Sim Reeves. The news was a beacon of happiness for Keanu, who had endured a turbulent childhood and other personal losses. Ava's impending birth seemed like a new chapter filled with hope and love. But life, as it so often does, had other plans. On December 24, 1999, just weeks before Ava's expected due date, Jennifer gave birth to their daughter, who was tragically stillborn at 8 months. The loss was devastating. Keanu and Jennifer, both overwhelmed by grief, struggled to process their pain. The couple, who had once seemed so strong, found themselves unable to support each other through such profound sorrow. Their relationship ended shortly after Ava's death. While the love they shared wasn't enough to weather the storm of grief, Keanu and Jennifer remained on good terms. They continued to care for one another, maintaining a close friendship even after parting ways. The tragic loss of Jennifer Sim. Although Keanu Reeves and Jennifer Sim had endured the devastating loss of their daughter Ava in 1999, their story was far from over. The stillbirth of Ava, just weeks before her expected arrival, deeply fractured their relationship. The grief was unbearable, and despite their love for each other, the pain pushed them apart. They ended their relationship but remained close friends, tied together by the shared anguish of their loss. By 2001, however, the bond that had never fully broken brought them back together. Hope seemed to glimmer on the horizon as they quietly rekindled their relationship. But just as it seemed they might begin to rebuild, an unimaginable tragedy struck once again, one that would forever alter Keanu's life. Keanu and Jennifer's love story had always been marked by depth and sincerity. After 2 years apart, the pair began spending more time together in early 2001. Jennifer's grief over Ava had never truly subsided, but being with Keanu offered her solace, and he found comfort in their reunion. On April 1, 2001, they shared a quiet brunch in San Francisco at Creers on Cole. It was a moment of normalcy, a step toward rebuilding their lives together. For Keanu, Jennifer represented a profound connection to love and loss, a reminder of the joy they once had and the pain they endured together. Though the scars of their shared tragedy ran deep, they were trying to navigate a path forward. Later that evening, Jennifer attended a party at Marilyn Manson's home in Hollywood. Guests described it as an ordinary gathering, filled with laughter and music. Jennifer left the party in the early hours of April 2, driven home by another guest, but something prompted her to leave her house shortly afterward, reportedly to return to the party. That decision proved fatal. Driving her Jeep Grand Cherokee, Jennifer lost control and collided with a row of parked cars on Kahena Boulevard. The impact was catastrophic. She wasn't wearing a seatbelt and was partially ejected from the vehicle. Jennifer Sim died instantly. She was only 28 years old. When Keanu learned of the accident, his world shattered once again. Just hours earlier, they had shared a meal and a glimpse of hope. Now, Jennifer was gone. According to reports, Keanu called the Los Angeles County Coroner's Office on April 2 to confirm the tragic news. An employee remembered him as being very quiet, mentioning that he expressed an interest in visiting their facility, though he was informed there was no need to do so. The heartbreak in Keanu's voice was palpable. Jennifer's death hit Keanu with the same brutal force as A.A.'s loss, reigniting the grief he had been carrying for years. It was a cruel twist of fate to lose the woman he loved for a second time, and the weight of this tragedy was almost unbearable. Jennifer's funeral on April 6, 2001, was a somber and emotional affair held at the Good Shepherd Church in Beverly Hills. The ceremony was a celebration of Jennifer's life, attended by those who had loved her deeply. Keanu, visibly distraught, served as one of the pallbearers along with Dave Navarro, Scott Coffey, and David Lynch. As snapshots from Jennifer's life played on a screen, Barbra Streisand's Higher Ground and Bette Midler's Wind Beneath My Wings filled the church. Jennifer was buried beside A.A. at Westwood Village Memorial Park Cemetery, bringing mother and daughter together in eternal rest. Keanu stood by Jennifer's mother, Maria St. John, throughout the service, providing her with the same strength he so desperately needed himself. Their shared grief was a poignant reminder of the profound love Jennifer had inspired. The loss of Jennifer marked another devastating chapter in Keanu's life. In a rare moment of reflection on his grief, he shared that it evolves over time but never truly goes away. These words encapsulate the weight he has carried, not just for Jennifer and A.A., but for all the losses he has endured. This heartbreak shaped Keanu's portrayal of John Wick in the 2014 film, where his character's grief for his late wife became a cornerstone of the story. He considered it a key aspect of the role, explaining that he personally connected with it. He believed that grief and loss are not something you ever fully overcome, they remain a part of you. Love after loss. In the next few years following Jennifer Sim's tragic death, Keanu Reeves largely retreated from the idea of love. His heart, already scarred by the loss of his best friend River Phoenix, his daughter A.A., and then Jennifer, seemed to shield itself from further vulnerability. For nearly a decade, Keanu focused on his career and quietly navigated life, never publicly seen with a romantic partner. It seemed as though the weight of his losses had left him unwilling or unable to open himself up to the possibility of losing someone he loved again. But love has a way of finding us when we least expect it, and for Keanu, that love arrived in the form of artist Alexandra Grant. Keanu and Alexandra's paths crossed in the mid-2000s, and their bond initially grew through a shared love for creativity. Alexandra, a visual artist with a unique talent for blending language and art, collaborated with Keanu on Ode to Happiness in 2011. The book, a playful guide to finding joy amidst sadness, was originally a private gift from Alexandra to Keanu. The project was light-hearted yet meaningful, and their mutual friends encouraged them to publish it. They did, and it marked the beginning of a creative partnership that would evolve into something far deeper. Their next collaboration, Shadows, explored the interplay of light and darkness, a fitting metaphor for the way their relationship developed over time. Inspired by their work together, the duo co-founded X Artists Books, a publishing house focused on unconventional works. In these years, their friendship grew closer, with a foundation built on mutual respect, admiration, and shared artistic endeavors. For years, Keanu and Alexandra kept their relationship private, but in November 2019, they made their public debut as a couple at the film gala, walking the red carpet hand in hand. They radiated happiness. The internet exploded with joy and curiosity, with fans celebrating the actor who had endured so much finally finding love again. Alexandra, known for her distinctive silver hair, and Her confident demeanor captivated the world, not just for her connection to Keanu but for her own achievements as a respected artist. While the public buzzed with excitement, the couple remained composed, quietly enjoying each other's company at the gala. Alexandra was seen asking a friend to take a photo of her and Keanu, a small tender moment amidst the spotlight. In the years that followed, Keanu and Alexandra's relationship became an inspiring example of love flourishing later in life. In March 2020, Alexandra spoke candidly about their bond in an interview with Vogue. She expressed that love, in all its forms, was a fundamental part of her identity. For her, isolation was never the answer. She also expressed how deeply she valued relationships, even while she embraced the solitude of her creative work. Her grounded, open approach to life seemed to perfectly complement Keanu's introspective nature. Keanu, for his part, has also opened up about the joy Alexandra has brought into his life. In a 2023 interview with People, he shared a recent moment of pure happiness with her. They had been in bed, connected, smiling, laughing, and giggling, simply enjoying the joy of being together. The simplicity of his words reflected the quiet, genuine connection they share, a bond built on shared values and mutual respect. Being in a relationship with a global icon like Keanu Reeves isn't easy, but Alexandra has embraced the attention with grace. In a 2023 interview with People, she reflected on the balance between her established career and her partnership with Keanu. She reflected on the positive side of falling in love as an adult, noting that by the time her relationship began, she had already established her own career. This gave her confidence, whether she was standing by her partner on the red carpet or walking it alone. Her words reflect a strength and independence that undoubtedly resonate with Keanu. She spoke highly of his creativity and dedication, sharing how much she valued their dynamic. She admired how they inspired each other to explore new paths, describing him as incredibly creative, kind, and hardworking. Although many people are glad that Alexandra Grant has brought positivity into Keanu Reeves's life after he seemed imprisoned by grief for over a decade, many still notice a lingering sadness in his eyes. Keanu rarely speaks about his past, preferring to focus on humanitarian efforts and creative pursuits. But in a recent interview, he shared a rare glimpse into his enduring pain, admitting that the loss of his daughter and the woman he loved will leave a mark on him forever. Keanu Reeves opened up about the tragic death of his daughter Ava, revealing that the experience was a defining moment of devastation in his life. "It was devastating," he said simply, his words carrying the weight of emotions too profound to articulate further. The loss of Ava, who was stillborn at 8 months, marked a turning point that reshaped his perspective on life, love, and grief. "There's no way to prepare for something like that," he shared, emphasizing the indescribable void left behind. Despite the heartbreak, Keanu has channeled his pain into empathy, often expressing a deep understanding of others' struggles and losses. While Keanu remains private about his feelings, rumors suggest that he has never had any more children because of the immense fear of experiencing such a loss again. Close friends and fans alike believe that the thought of reliving that heartbreak would simply be too much for him to bear. Many, however, can't help but feel it's a great pity that Keanu has chosen not to have children, as they are convinced he would be a wonderful father. His warmth, compassion, and kindness, qualities that have endeared him to so many, are traits that would undoubtedly make him a loving and devoted parent. Yet for Keanu, the scars of loss run deep, and his choice reflects both the weight of his past and his quiet resilience in moving forward. Do you think Keanu's choice not to have children is solely based on his past grief, or could there be other factors at play? Let us know in the comments and subscribe to our channel for more.